welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to the Devils of the West, our Deadlands-esque Savage Worlds game. When last we left our brave rootin' tootin' shootin' cow pokes, they had just finished unraveling the plot of Raskatoon, who Ahote was, and who was behind kidnapping and hiding away, and the sort of horrific bad experiments maybe going on underneath their very feet in the mayor's house. Now Ahote, the young native boy, is recovering in the local doctor's office. The plot has been unraveled. Everyone who was innocent, I mean, they did what they weren't supposed to do, but it turns out it was the right thing to do, so like murdering the mayor and stuff's okay now. It's that day afterwards still. Like I said, Ahote's still kind of recovering. Jeffress is probably still recovering a little bit with the doc as well from his bludgeon wound to the back of his head from Spears, the right hand of the mayor. And what are the rest of you doing?
We're, well, I guess we have our wanted poster, but we're going to wait on doing that until everyone's recovered. Does Ahote's grandfather know that he's okay? Did we do that?
No message has been sent or anything like that. You know that when you spoke with him, Chief of PC, that he had said that Ahote knows his way home, and you also know they talked about like he could hear the call of Ahote and stuff like that. So you think maybe once Ahote's more well, he could probably call out to his grandpa or just go home.
Oh.
You don't really know a way to get message to them apart from like taking the long trip and trying to find their tribe.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, we know a shorter-ish route. We just have to cross the river. I mean, I guess we cross the river either way, but
yeah. You guys kind of, you know the general direction.
I ain't doing nothing. I could head that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of an issue that'll solve itself, but...
Yeah, but he also threatened to, like, destroy the entire town.
That is true.
And before long...
Well, we found the other sheriff, so it's not my problem anymore.
Fair point.
The other sheriff is recovering, and you guys bring up that needs to be done. He says that he knows the way directly to where they're at, and as long as he says Ahote shouldn't take more than a day to get to where he's able to move, and then he'll take Ahote back himself. Fair enough. He wants to go and try and help mend over things a little further with them anyhow.
Right.
And also approach you, Sheriff, and say, I appreciate you very much for figuring all. And when he approaches you, he's like shaved up. He's like cleaned up quite a bit. He's had some time to kind of get the grime of a couple months of being locked in a cell washed away and shaved away. And he'll come to you and be like, I really appreciate what you did for my town. And with all due respect, I'd like to resume my post.
I'll take the star off of my chest.
Sheriff badge and give it back. Be like, you're always welcome here anytime. And he'll shake your hand. That makes some sense on the camera.
Yeah. It's the classic. We gotta like line it up. Well, cool. I don't know. Anybody got stuff to do while we wait for Jeffress to put himself back together?
I mean, I kind of wouldn't mind talking to the... I'd kind of like to go with the sheriff to take Ahote back. I kind of want to talk to the old chieftain about backstory things and how they relate to current events.
Okay. It'll be a day will go by. The rest of this day will go by, and Ahote will get kind of patched up to the point where his life isn't threatened. He's gotten some food, he's gotten some water, he's gotten his different injuries and stuff cleaned up, and he's good enough to travel. And the sheriff is getting ready to head out. He said he'll leave first light the next morning if anyone would like to come with him.
You can go ahead.
Yeah. I'd like to.
I would go, but I have a feeling that the chieftain would not be happy to see Professor Bogus.
That's fair. That's a fair assumption.
What happened to you, grandson? I was experimented on, but I got kind of like this one.
I'll go with you. I can help you out since I'm not doing nothing.
Okay.
I'm pretty much just gonna be back in the barn tinkering with some stuff. with some more gadgets.
I need to remove from my note on the sheriff's office that currently unoccupied and change it to, instead of missing Sheriff Mac Peterson, just Sheriff Mac Peterson.
That's gotta feel good.
Mm-hmm. So, day goes by. During this time, Jeffers, you get some medical attention. You have like a pretty thick gauze bandaging around your head, and he gives that kind of like ice from what he can get to kind of cool off the back of your head and whatnot. And
He just gives you an opium pipe and whiskey.
basically, medicine. He cleans it out, make sure you're not going to get infected in this tumbleweed of a town and whatnot. A night will go by, y'all be able to sleep. Next morning will arrive. So, quick head count. So, it's going to be Little Lady and Deep Fingers going to be going with Sheriff Mac and Ahote back to the tribe. What is the rest of the team doing?
I think I'm just drinking coffee and hanging out.
Okay.
Just waiting for Peters to get better.
Peters?
I don't know where Peters came from.
I don't know. I might join the ranger sheriff, the youngin. I might join the youngin for some coffee.
Okay. You guys can. Sheriff Mac will. It lets you still stay in the sheriff's office if you want. You'll have to sleep in the jail cell because he wants his bed back, but he'll leave it unlocked for you. But you guys can kind of hang there, have a little coffee, a little hang out. Maybe Jeffers will come over with his bandaging, have a little coffee with you guys. What do you guys talk about during the day? What is it like with the three of you in the sheriff's office sipping coffee that morning?
I will say it is nice to be sipping coffee and being on the other side of the bars after the town,
Well,
hesitantly
if
throw
you
us
didn't
in
want to
there.
get put in jail, you shouldn't have killed the mayor.
Well, you know what? The mayor shouldn't have been a dick. Which I should.
Wait, what? So you killed the mayor?
Yeah.
I guess this could have been explained to me.
You've got it somewhat explained,
Yeah.
but your head's still a little fuzzy. You might not remember it very well. It took quite the blow.
To be fair, it was the little lady that killed the mayor. I may or may not have crippled him in a way that is horrifying to the imagination.
You shot him in the dick, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh.
Was it Welcome to the Future? This is the future.
This is the future.
This is the future.
Dick shot.
I just bust out the gadget. I'm just like, this is the future, kind of just like waving it around. I better put that away. Don't want that to happen again.
Well, I reckon there's a lot more evil out there than I remember. Suppose I might join you fellers wherever you go.
Yeah, we got wanted men to find. It's one of those. As a Texas Ranger, I don't. Arizona Ranger? What am I? Texas. Texas Ranger.
Looks it bad.
As an Arizona Ranger, ain't she a Texas Ranger? As a Texas Ranger.
I don't really know what my responsibilities are. I assume going after bounties is just like part of the job.
Part of the job, definitely. I mean, your current assignment, you just finished, technically. Right. So what your next prerogative would be to return to Confluence City, get payment for the posse that helped you, and just confer with them with what all happened, get them the kind of lowdown on what all that was.
Is that a big city?
That show is. It's the big city out west.
So,
I mean, I reckon I'll join you, youngin, on your as you go traveling about. But I will just say this: I would much prefer, when you go to talk to your higher ups, I'll be kind of away from that situation.
that's fine, I guess.
Just as a win.
I will tell them you shot him in the dick, though. There's no getting around that.
Oh, you know what? Go ahead. Tell them whatever you want.
And then he shot the mayor in the dick.
Allegedly, I was unconscious now.
I was fighting for my life.
Can I, is there any way I might know anything about old Abraham Lawless?
Go ahead and roll me a common knowledge.
Okay. I would like to roll a common knowledge as well.
You go for it.
Where's my...
Oh, Abraham.
Wow.
4.
6 explodes.
You actually know him.
10.
10. You know what? With a 10, you know what we're going to say there? Just one moment here.
I am Abraham. I just bonked out that. Got him.
That name's awful familiar to me for some reason. He pulls out his wallet, looks at his driver's license. Oh, damn.
After getting whacked on the head, he probably would think that.
So, Ranger, you know, Corporal, right? You're a Corporal?
Corpseman?
You are a corpseman, in fact.
Corpseman.
Ah.
I believe I'm a corp.
Yes, Corporal.
Corporal. I don't have it written. It's
Abraham
What's the top
Henson,
of
the
what's
name
top of the
doesn't
letters?
really ring a bell to you.
Corporal?
The not so much the first name, but Sykes Trading and Provisioning. The man he's wanted for the murder of, along with some of the boys working for him. You assume Warren Sykes is probably the owner of Sykes Trading and Provisioning, and you've heard of that business before. You know that's a pretty well-known business out of Confluence City, Colorado.
Gotcha.
That's where that business is from. It's pretty well-known, reputable, big kind of general goods as well as like trail gear and firearms and all like that.
I think the correct term is was.
Was. Allegedly was. I mean, the man is dead. Who knows what now? You, however, Abraham Henson, he didn't like roll with your gang back in the day or anything like that, but the name definitely strikes a chord. You're like, oh, I remember this guy. He's pretty well known in these parts as a outlaw / trapper. Like, most of his crimes are not like robbing stagecoaches. It's like illegal hunting activities, and like if people are kind of staking a claim in the hunting ground he wants to hunt in, he has been known to drive them off by force, sometimes lethally. He's just kind of he's a woodsman. He's a well-known outdoorsman, woodsman, but one that's got a pretty nasty reputation. And you know, it's like if Henson's hunting this wood, best to steer clear of it. He won't discern between you and the deer.
Well, I explained that.
Okay.
I know that.
Share that knowledge.
I share that knowledge.
Alright. Well, looks like good thing I think I put a point into survival for this. That'll be helpful.
On the trail with the rest of y'all, the sheriff's riding with a Hote on the horse in front of him and riding along, and you guys take a pretty similar path through that kind of across the creek, through that canyon, and kind of straight on to that section of the river. Getting there, it's wide enough that it'd be a little tricky for horses to ford across the river, but the sheriff kind of rides up a little ways and then kind of goes into a line of trees, and there's a canoe that's kind of tucked up into the brush up there. And he has you guys help kind of pull it out, ties the horses off there. You guys use it to cross. No, I'm not going to make anyone roll a boating check. This is not under duress or anything. Between the group of you, you're able to paddle across, get to the other side, get off, and then it's on foot. It's probably an hour or two's steady walk until you get to the outskirts of what looks like native town. You see the decent number of teepees and kind of a clearing in the woods here. As you approach, some people there's kind of a immediate like call to arms of people like coming out and like seeming fairly aggressive and defensive, but as they see that Hote is coming with them, it quickly turns to like people coming and like checking on him and other people running into town to tell others.
It's a good thing he had the canoe, because Spanky doesn't like water.
Yeah. Spanky gets nervous as soon as you guys get close to the river's bank, and you're able to tie him off, and it's all good. Poor Spanky.
Poor Spanky.
Poor Spanky. He's my favorite.
I'd be amazed if that horse survives this entire campaign.
He is just from pure luck.
He will.
And after a brief moment, and some of these people going into town, you guys start walking in, and people are checking on Hote, but pretty quickly they clear out of the way as you see a familiar face of a PC running up to him, like looking very concerned and excited and emotional, and like comes up and embraces his grandson and looks over his like wounds very worriedly. And he calls out, and you see a number of people start walking towards, one of which is a fairly elderly native woman, who these two people come along with her, and they help walk with a Hote and the sleigh takes with her, probably like some sort of medicine woman or something, to start looking after them. And a PC says, "Come," and gestures towards you guys to follow him. And he walks into a tent, inside of which there's some like furs and stuff kind of lined around to sit, And he sits down and gestures for you all to sit in front of him and be like, I thank you for returning my grandson, but I must know who took him, what happened.
Well,
what are these wounds?
Let the sheriff tell. I guess he knows about as much of the story as we do, I guess.
He shares that the mayor of their town was, in fact, this very, wicked bad man, and that he was interested in some of in the nature of the transformations that some of his tribe have, and that some experiments were done on his son, very terrible, wicked things that this bad man did, but that he's been killed now. Justice has been served on him and those who were assisting him in this matter. And he explains it I was starting to get onto them before. I unfortunately was struck when I wasn't expecting it and locked away and kept from being able to stop them. He very earnestly and very direct to the he apologizes, and you can see tearing up, it really was affected. It really affected him. He was very hurt that he wasn't able to protect Ahote. You see, there's clearly the sheriff has a bond with these people, and he feels like he personally failed a PC and Ahote and the whole tribe, and apologizes pretty profusely about it.
They were 2 for 2 on getting sheriffs in that basement.
You got you too. It took you, yeah.
It's the brick. They got it.
It's the old brick.
Everybody knows that the sheriffs love brick.
It took the crazy mad took the mad scientist and the young lady to get the job done.
Yeah.
I want to. I guess since there's another player. I guess there's another player character here. There's no point in beating around the bush necessarily, because Grimes would hear this conversation. I want to tell. I want to tell this chieftain about what happened in Louisiana. Okay. With my brother turning. Mm-hmm. And having to and my brother killing my father and then having to kill my brother, and it being something like what their tribe can do transformation wise, but obviously they're not just monsters. Mm-hmm. And just I just want to because obviously they know more about this than I do, and I want to help me to understand.
He will draw the door of the tent, of the teepee shut, and he will light up the old peace pipe and start handing it around as you're kind of sharing this story. And he's very focused and listening and paying attention as you do so. The sheriff seems a little distraught, I didn't know there was more people who did this kind of stuff.
Well, and I guess I'll probably take off the strip of leather cover
and show the injured eye, the missing eye is clawed away. And the chief...
I wasn't expecting backstory to come out quite this good.
Damn, you're uglier than I thought you were.
Shut up, Grimes.
The chief...
I'll tell your mom.
The chief will say...
Don't tell my mom.
There are many different bloodlines, and ancient spirits are what we can attest our powers to. That which we have was gifted to a member of my family many, many years ago, and has followed our bloodline since then. And that power, that ability of the spirits has given us the strength to lead and protect our people over this time. We work very hard to avoid others knowing of it, because it tends to bring about concern, worry, and eventually any great beast is hunted in these lands, and we don't want to be seen as well. What you've shared with me of your brother sounds like, and he uses a native word here, but you are the one who speaks the language, right? Oh, it's Jeffers. He said I don't know how to say this in English very well, and he says a word in the native tongue, and he says,
well, the sheriff speaks.
Oh yeah, he does. And the sheriff will be unholy, like a
curse,
like a tainted version, or what's what I'm looking for? Like the desecration, I think would be the closest. And he says, desecration, that's a fair word for it. The bloodline that has somehow gotten to your brother is not one of the spirits, or at least not one naturally of the spirits. It is certainly one that is of the... certainly one that possibly was captured or harnessed or taken from a more natural place and through untrue and unnatural means twisted and changed.
That
I
makes
would
me think maybe there's more going on back home in Louisiana than I thought.
I would
Sounds like
think
you got some
that
trouble.
whatever was done with your brother was likely done by someone similar to this mayor of yours. Someone looking to harness and corrupt that which was a natural power. I would say there are tales of my ancestors not being fully in control of themselves when first they began to change. Perhaps there's something with that and your brother not being in control of himself. The ability to control that I have and that Ahote is learning now is generations of work to gain.
Well, I appreciate the insight anyway.
I appreciate you all returning my grandson. Know this, and he's like, just as a sheriff, that no further attacks will be done on your people. And I apologize for the blood spilt in the time that has passed since my grandson was taken. But you must understand that what was done was justified to ensure his safe return.
I can't be stopped.
But we'll keep trying.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Don't tell anybody, Grimes. Especially the professor.
That you're butt ass ugly.
He said, taking a sip from his flask.
Never change, Grimes. Never change.
That poor little lady.
One of these days we'll kill
Excuse me.
Grimes has just been sitting in that corner of the tent, not listening to a goddamn thing.
Not paying attention in the room. What, your butt ass? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, don't talk about the fact that your brother did something and now you're ugly and okay, about that.
You picked the perfect person to bring
maybe
with you.
maybe I don't need to worry about it.
I don't tell nothing, I don't snitch.
Unless
You know the old adage, snitches
kind
get
of on
put
the
in a
run.
ditch.
Oh, you killed your old. Yeah.
Well, I have a bounty on my head. So
Don't worry about it. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Very self-consciously recover my missing eye.
Damn.
you just got roasted by deep fish.
Boom, roasted. You're so ugly, you look like a man. Boom, roasted.
Fuck you, Grimes. I fucked your mom so hard last night they had to reset the house.
Shut up, Shorzy.
Shut up, Shorzy.
Everybody's
you,
ready
Riley.
to also go back up to 3 bennies. I
Yep.
just looked at my character sheet and it was...
You'd spent a good number of them, I assume.
I'd only spent 1, I think.
Oh,
but
you know what? I do have a question. Since we rested, are my power points back to full?
Yeah, you'll have all your power points back.
Nice.
Okay.
And unless you guys have anything else you want to talk to the chieftain about, he'll just pass the pipe around a little bit and let you guys go on your way once you're done.
Is the peace pipe just tobacco, or do we need to make it?
Peyote?
Let's go ahead and have everybody who partakes roll me a... We're going to actually have you roll a spirit.
Oh!
Ooh.
Yeah, the professor isn't
I've
there,
got
but he's
spirit.
gonna.
Yes,
I'm
I
just
do.
kidding.
I've got spirit. How about you? So you'll have a
D8
D8 and a D6. So
8 and 6 both explode.
Damn!
Shit.
11.
11. This is definitely not tobacco, but you're made of tougher stuff. You're fine. You're like, And you're seeing things. You know, you're having a little bit of a.
Here's where Grimes goes on a
wild
vision quest
experience.
and finds a spirit animal.
It's just Spanky.
It's just a cowardly horse.
or a snake. I don't know why. I'm just like, it's probably a snake.
Probably a snake.
Probably. Is it because you're mad?
No.
It's probably a real ugly donkey.
Probably an ass. Probably an ass because you're an ass. You trip balls a little bit from this. It's a little. It's kind of the like things kind of happen in slow mo, and some like your vision kind of distorts and stuff as you're looking at people. You're not like having like a terrible high where you're like. The dragon's coming after you or whatever, but you're just like, yeah, you're trying long and just like you're coughing very embarrassingly. And it's bad.
Whoa, these schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
You're just having a good time. You're not on trips.
Exactly.
Now I'm really wishing the professor went.
And then a little bit higher than you came, you leave the town, I assume, the village, and
Is
a
there
lot of
any
you
hot native ladies?
certainly are some
You're gonna get
attractive native women here.
No.
I'm so high.
And there's some women
just a
that you
tree.
can't tell for sure if they're attractive or not.
Is there any that just like I can't tell, but they're smoking something?
Go and roll me a notice.
No. You're gonna get yourself beat up by a bunch of people. Okay, so your notice will be.
Smarts.
Yep, smarts. So add a d4. So you'll do.
It's not your smarts, it's whatever the ranks then.
Yeah, it's
Notice you have.
notice.
It's which you don't have any.
She has one.
She's- Okay, so no -2 anymore. That's good. 1 and 2. You see one lady that was nice and straight. Like you can't take your eyes off of her. She's a little bigger, but like curvy. You know, it's like she's got the curves in all the right places.
She's got huge pots.
Huge, lots of light. Real big teepees, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna wink and blow her a kiss.
As you're leaving the tent, you see Ed.
Oh, no.
You see a pretty large male native warrior who's kind of like broad-chested walking by, and you see him kind of look over at you, and you see little deep fingers kind of look, and just kind of like give like a very concerned look, shake his head, and walk quicker past the two of them, and he mutters something in native under his breath.
Grimes is just trying to pick fights with everybody. I ain't gonna defend him. Not after all that.
I know. I was reading them.
This prude lady doesn't seem to want anything. She kind of just looks at you and keep moving. These natives, they just don't know a handsome man when they see one. That's
Playing
all.
hard to get.
That's all it is.
Go on, Grimes. It's a long walk back to the river.
Spanky. Gotta get Spanky.
And you guys will be able to walk back, get to the river, sail across. He returns the boat to where it was.
Not this time.
Your boat is returned. Your horses are where they were before. Spanky has moved to the length of his leash as far from the river as he can. But a lot of you are able to get on your horses and head on back to town. And that takes a good portion of the day. You're getting back pretty late in the evening. And the other folks are probably still at the sheriff's office, just kind of shooting the shit and hanging out.
Just hanging out.
We're just being old people.
It is literally like the old guys.
When I was initially gonna be like, so what do you guys talk about? Like, nice weather we're having.
They're just
I like to
making
think,
sure
like-
the town doesn't blow away while the sheriff's gone.
I like to think that Jeffords and the ranger are trying to talk to me, and it's just no, that's not what we said. What? What's going? What?
Well, that's why we just settled into like a companionable silence. Because I can't say anything.
It's just not worth repeating. How's the weather? You know.
How's the weather? Gross.
And riding back into town, you see the sheriff, little lady, and the deep fingers.
Well, how'd the trip go?
Very interesting.
Seem pleased to have him back.
Well, there we go.
Deep Finger's eyes look a little dilated, but he doesn't seem any worse for wear.
I'm not the sheriff anymore. It's not my problem.
No.
Also, this is pre-Reagan. You can smoke whatever you want.
Pre-Reagan.
You could literally smoke cocaine in Wild West America, and no one would care.
God bless America.
God bless America.
What you smoking there? Cocaine? That's an odd thing to smoke. Don't you just snort it?
That's why I said you can do it.
Cocaine?
Good. It's not going to
Why
make
you taking
sense, but you
children's
can do
medicine?
it.
Yeah. You have a cough?
Well, I put it on my wheat cereal.
So you guys have all returned to town. Just kind of late that evening. At this point, for the sake of your injuries, Jeffers, the doctor's been attending to them. I did a couple rolls a second ago. You will no longer have injuries going. He's managed to heal you up.
Nice.
Through his entire.
You might have a bit of a headache for a couple of days.
Yeah, you'll still have a little bit of. You're certainly concussed, so you might be a little lightheaded, a little forgetful and stuff for a week or so. But apart from that, no worse.
There you go. A full recovery.
I don't have to recover from amnesia.
Amnesia.
Amnesia these nuts.
It doesn't even. Lace. Lace. All right, and a lot of you guys can get up the next morning, and I assume you're on the trail for Lawless. What's the plan? How are you guys going about it?
I mean, we don't. Fortunately, there are whole states west of Crooked Canyon. I mean, that's kind of what we know is west of Crooked Canyon. So
Yeah. Well, we have to go to Confluence City first, right? Or
Not
is this
necessarily.
Oh, okay.
We've got to deliver him.
This is much closer to. If you get him alive or reasonable proof he's dead, you'll have to deliver that to Confluence.
So
It'd save you a trip to get him first.
and that brings up a conversation we should have before we set out about tactics.
Right. Tactics.
Because I do have this long-range scoped rifle here. I'm just saying, $300 is fine, and it'd be much easier to travel all the way up to Confluence City with a
Let me see. What are my feelings on capital punishment?
How much is it?
Smoke them.
How much is it?
You got a shot, you take it.
He's alive.
It's 500 alive and 300 dead.
Ah, we could do that.
Jeffers is firmly not in favor for killing him.
Oh,
I mean, guys, I do have an entangled gadget. I could literally have him wrapped up.
see,
for
there
us.
you go.
Yeah,
Just
but-
give him to the professor.
But the thing is like, we've got to deliver him alive all the way up to Confluence City.
He'll be fine.
He's going to be complaining and trying to escape, and
It's true.
Gag him.
We just put short fingers on him, and then he'll be fine.
Yeah, just put them both in the cage.
after what happens at the mayor's house, I'm not sure that Deep Fingers over here will notice if he escapes.
Hey. I'll
Be a
figure
quick
it
John
out.
on a squirrel out in the woods somewhere while he's escaping.
Drive. Where's the prisoner? He's right over.
Oh wait, that's matches.
He was right here a second ago.
No, if the mayor's indication is anything, he'll step on a twig. I will hear it. None of you will, and I'll be like, guys, he's trying to escape.
Could I pick up some rope while we're here?
Oh yeah, if anybody needs ammo, there's a gun store in town.
How
much ammo do I got?
How does ammo?
I got a lot. I
I
got
would
like
just
48.
keep track of it, like I've just got mine written at the bottom of my character sheet here. Every
Okay.
time I reload,
Is 48 good?
probably.
Okay.
I strongly doubt
I,
we'll use 48 rounds of ammunition between here and Confluence City, but heck, you never know.
Is
For
it?
$5, you can get 50 feet of rope.
Okay.
Nice.
Listen here, Jeffersons.
What do we want?
Does yours? What you want?
He doesn't say it.
Does
Does
your
he?
store?
Both of
Oh,
these?
yes.
You
Oh,
guys
yes,
missed
sir.
it! We got him with both pencils!
I picked up one. This one's empty. This one's also you rat bastard.
There was a. Speaking of tactics, tactics.
Slow down.
Oh, you took it out.
Speaking of tactics meetings, there was a bit of a conversation before you guys arrived. About, so what's the plan with the out of lead pencil this week?
Bastards.
Jeffords, does your store
Deadlands.
sell tobacco?
Yes.
Do you sell pipes?
Yes.
Can I buy a pipe
They're
and
over
some
there on the counter
tobacco?
next to the tobacco.
Yes, they're over there on the counter next to the tobacco.
I love how you just repeat what's you're either like what he said or yes over there.
Jeffers, you want to know a secret? It's bonus ugly.
That's a ridiculous.
Well, that's rude.
You don't get it. You don't fucking get it.
Well, Mr. Bogus, I'll be happy to show you my selection of pipes and tobacco, and I'll even give you a friend's discount.
Oh, fantastic! Yes,
Pretty much.
I will.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Do it to cheese the
I'll
game.
buy a pipe and
I don't see this as a problem because like
tobacco.
it's just money going from one player to another player. It literally gains you guys nothing. It just redistributes your funds, so he can buy all he wants from you, and you can keep all the money from him.
Since most of us use the same range of caliber of pistols, 50 rounds will run you $3 if anybody needs ammo. Me, I stocked up before I ever came here.
How much money do I have? 79.
79 months. How much money?
$3.
Also, how much am I?
50.
Sclaire, how much money am I throwing your way for pipe and tobacco?
Look that up.
20% off of whatever it is.
Oh, great! You're gonna make me do math.
My job is to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, not my job.
I literally set prices at a gas station company. I can do it.
On here, pipe is $2, and smoking tobacco is 50 cents.
How much is like a ration?
It's $1.60 for the
$2.50.
I'm not
pipe.
gonna make you guys buy rations.
Yeah.
Like keep track of food.
So
Oh, okay.
For the sake of
you
this,
said
like,
a dot.
we're not gonna keep track of food.
$1.60?
That's just a lot of effort. Unless it's relevant,
Yeah.
we won't keep track of it. You guys go out in the desert or something.
Go ahead and throw that on your monies.
Most in this town, they'll give you
$1.60
food for
40
free.
for
They can
the
get it now because of
tobacco.
I'm gonna braid
40 cents.
Spanky. I'm just gonna braid him.
So
It's
$2
all
total.
nice and pretty
$2 total, yeah.
for our trip.
$2 total. Yeah. Just go ahead and throw $2 on your monies.
There.
So now I have a pipe and some tobacco.
I know it's drinks, but I don't know if it smokes. Apparently, apart from whatever was in that piece,
Yeah.
with an 11 on my spirit roll.
I have a pipe and tobacco, so Professor, I can smell with you.
I feel like
Actually,
higher
it's
Oh,
spec.
well, that'd be fantastic. Have a smoking, buddy.
You have
There you go.
the lower the number, the
$3.50,
more
so-
unpleasant your high.
You know, there's nothing I enjoy more than on a nice
She was a
cozy
bucks
ride
in
with
your lives.
Sam and just smoking a pipe.
On a,
Striking
on
a match.
mule filled with nitro.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys
Yeah.
buy before you head out?
I think, at least as far as trail equipment goes, I think I'm pretty well stocked.
Then there's no. Do we have like a max on how much ammo we can carry? Or we
Be reasonable.
Be reasonable.
Yeah.
It's 200. Reasonable.
In saddlebags. and
Saddlebags, you
stuff.
can have that
Saddlebags.
much.
Yeah.
So how much is on your person has to be really in.
On your person, with a regular gun belt, probably carrying 24 rounds.
Yeah.
I got a bottle of liquor,
Or around that.
but
yeah, just,
and a half bottle still.
but yeah, you have 200 rounds in it.
You loaded up.
Yeah.
There's also
You load up.
possessions.
You party. Well, it's not like it's just a raffle.
I mean, we're a bunch of. I mean, I'm certainly a party animal. That's me.
Grimes is just an animal.
As we have gathered, you are a animal and a party animal at that.
A schmelly beast.
Do you want me to
Schmelly, schmelly.
inventory my fancy rounds?
You don't have to.
That's more
Your
like an
fancy rounds is
ability.
like an activated ability.
Yeah,
But it's
okay.
like a thing you can do. That's its own thing.
Its own thing.
And the extra damage.
It's part of it.
Thinking chicken money.
So as you guys finish buying stuff up and you're heading out of town, running out as you guys are leaving, you hear, "Hey, hold up there!" And you see running out of Outfitters, John Walsh.
Oh.
And he says, Sheriff, or I guess
Ranger.
not sheriff anymore. Y'all trying to hunt down Lawless?
That's the plan.
Now, I can't tell you for certain, but I know that he knows of this place. He's bought from me in the past, the crooked bastard. My guess is he's at Gunter's Hollow. Small hunting shack up in the woods off the canyon ways. I can show you a path to take on the, you kind of mark it on the map. Right in these here woods, this section here. I would be careful. Dude's, the feller's a well-known trapper and huntsman. I'd step lightly when you're heading towards his shack. But, apart from that, that'd be my guess. He's somewhere shacked up there.
Alright, well, I appreciate it, sir.
I appreciate you bringing him to justice.
That's once again why I'm saying we just shouldn't even get within a few hundred yards.
I am perfectly fine with you just blowing his head off.
Well, I'd rather shoot him in the chest so that we can identify him.
You can shoot him in the legs. Still alive.
It's true, I could do a gold shot if I wanted.
I mean, Professor Bogus is pretty neutral in this, so he's like, yeah, you do whatever.
I want the extra money.
I
Whatever makes
reckon
you
the
happy.
man should have his due process.
Can I see that real quick?
It's extra money, it says. Instead of 300, 500.
It doesn't say what he's wanted for.
It does up at the top.
Oh, at the top?
Wanted for...
Kill man.
Yeah.
He did kill a store owner.
And several of his working boys.
Yeah.
If anybody's
He's
curious
killed
to
4
see
people.
how reformed of a man Jeffress is, he does not hold grudges against them.
That's fair.
But evil does need to be stopped.
Yeah, I appreciate your concern, but he has murdered 4 men at least.
No, well, let's be clear. The way it is phrased would imply that 3 of them were not men,
That's true.
but probably like
Teenagers.
yeah, and probably early teenagers if they're not being referred to as like men.
Yeah, boys.
So, yeah, I appreciate your mercy, but
I mean, I won't. I guess like I don't have to shoot him if it's not a somewhat unanimous decision. I don't want to cause a divide in the group. I just think it is the easiest way to deal with this problem.
I think
will-
you set up for the shot. If it looks like he's gonna get away, shoot him.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's,
Certainly won't stop you.
yeah, let's try to take him alive so we can get
Jeffress jumps in front of the bull.
I'll just have my convictions.
Get down, Mr. Henson.
I'll-
Pushes about a and gets shot.
And I mean, again, I have I have my entangled gun, so if anything, I can entangle him, and then somebody just goes and ties him up, and then we put him on the back of Sam, so he's riding on a bunch of nitro and and
Try not to move
lantern
around
oil.
too much.
If you try to make a run for it, we shoot the mule.
Well, I just tie a little fuse to
I will
him and say
level-
if he tries to get off, it's.
I will level this whole mountainside. Don't think I won't. But yeah, that's true. Like, if we want to, even if like I set up for the shot, if a couple people want to like confront him, yeah,
Makes sense.
he starts shooting.
Or what we do, little lady, is I entangle him and then you shoot him. Just saying. I make it easier.
All right. Well, yeah, I think I'll make the approach with whoever wants to come with me, and then if he doesn't surrender, you can blast him.
Well, let's get within eye shot of the shack alive first.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
So you lot are heading out, going to the canyon, taking the path to the hollow and to Gunter's Hollow. And after a little bit of, you guys know how to ride horses. There's nothing that spook yours, so we're okay for the time being. You guys go, there's like a path that seems to come off of the canyon up a little ways. It's a little bit steep, but you're able to traverse it with horses and start moving in that direction. It's still kind of wooded in this area. Are you heading towards, you're going to get fairly close to the shack pretty soon. How are you approaching? Are you approaching on horseback? Are you approaching on foot? Are you approaching quickly, quietly? What's the plan?
I think we should try to approach quietly. And
Sure.
I'm gonna try to take a special care to look for traps.
Okay. So, for the sake of this, are you on horseback or are you
I think we should go
tying
on
off the
foot.
horses,
Yeah.
moving in on foot, kind of quietly? The both of you make notice checks for me,
I don't have any notice.
and I assume
I
Well,
should really rank up
I'm
mine.
probably there.
they're specifically looking for traps.
Oh,
if you're
right,
wanting
right.
to do that.
Well, yeah, I look for traps.
Okay.
I ain't holding nothing.
Nope.
Oh, there you go.
14.
14? 2?
3.
What's yours?
3.
3 and 2? 0? Use the 0.
I don't have any notice.
0. Okay.
I was hoping it was going to be a survival.
You don't. You do see one like snare trap that's got a rabbit dangling from it that's still alive. Seems like pretty recently got caught in the snare trap. Because of how high you rolled, I'm gonna give you a chance to stop him from as he's kind of like looking. He's like, "There's gonna be a trap," and you see like he is a step away from landing on a bear trap that's gonna catch his foot as he's looking around for traps. Ranger, go ahead and you roll me a. We'll call it athletics, because that's agility based. Go ahead and roll me an athletics to see if you react in time to not step in this thing. With him going, Ranger!
Also don't have any athletics. So. Actually, not only that, I have a -2 to athletics.
From what?
From clumsy.
Oh, you have a total of -4.
-4. I also have -2 to stealth, because I'm clumsy.
Because you're clumsy. This makes a lot of sense. You using the Benny?
You do have bennies, unless it's a double ones.
It's a 1 and a 3.
It's up to you. Do you think you even stand a chance?
I don't think I do. I have a -4 to this. I don't think I stand a chance. I'll step in this picture.
He says, Ranger! As your foot comes forward, and the bear trap snaps shut on your right foot.
Can I roll a, is there like a not scream check?
Go ahead and roll me a spirit to hold your own there.
Oh, nope.
For the sake of this, what's your parry?
Parry.
This thing is making an attack against you.
Parry is 5.
5? Okay. So.
My spirit was a 3.
21. What's your toughness?
6.
6. That's 10 damage, so that is going to be 1 wound unless you try to soak it.
Oh my god.
I'll try to soak it.
So you have to spend a Benny,
Spend a Benny.
and you're gonna. It's a vigor roll, I believe.
Jesus.
Oh,
One
nope.
to 3. So you'll take a wound,
And you are shaken.
Yeah.
and you are shaken.
Wound and a shake. Where does it track?
That's-
So I guess I'll just track it.
What was on this bear trap? Jesus Christ.
So
It's a bear trap.
Wounds. Man. I'm gonna say. I want to try and tell you guys, get off the trail. Like.
That's because you
Sorry.
wrong browser tab.
Yeah. One moment here.
Okay. I think you guys should get off the trail and use me as bait. Because so it looks like I'm an Arizona or a Texas Ranger, Arizona Ranger. Hasn't been too long in town. That got stuck in his trap trying to get him, and he'll like come up, and then you guys can go.
Don't you have the wound table? Don't we have that in the little cheat sheet that's around here somewhere?
Oh, yeah.
Because we're doing the other wound.
hardcore.
Yes, I can also pull it up pretty easily. I don't think it's just on here.
I don't believe
We do have a reference sheet floating around here somewhere. The question is, where do we put it? You could also, Erickson, pull up. Or is it not on just like on the shelf next to you?
The little. This is not that. No. But I have a cheat sheet thing I've been using before that had on it. And I think I just found the PDF. Chases, damage, fear, actions, injury take. There we go.
I guess I get to roll a D100.
You can, if it's something specific like this, you could also just say it is the leg.
That's what I'm doing.
Because it's
But I just want to see what that technically does, and it is
Brutal.
Until you get this injury healed, you're going to have the lame hindrance.
Okay. Lane.
so paces. That's like -2 to pace and agility. agility checks or something like that.
Damn, I hope you never have to roll an agility again, because that'd be a negative
I
six.
have really bad. Oh, sorry. It was actually athletics. Yeah. So.
Or yeah, athletics.
That is
Either
an
way,
agility
though.
check.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
With the help of others, you guys can be able to pry this trap back open, but it's giving you a grisly wound on your leg, and you will be lame until you get that taken care of.
All right. Yeah, use me as bait, and you guys get off the trail, and I'll just start hollering and making a bunch of noise, and hopefully he doesn't shoot me dead from a distance.
You know, Corporal sure doesn't seem all that scared of dying.
I expect it comes with the business.
I'm just that cool. I looks at hindrances, death wish. So
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea.
alright. Well, I'll wait
No,
for
I
them
don't
to
think
get
so.
off the trail,
Okay.
and then I'll start hollering.
Oh, my leg,
My leg, Henson, you bastard!
The rest of y'all go ahead and make me stealth checks if you're trying to hide out in the woods nearby here.
I get a +2 on account of this being a stealth check in the wilderness.
There you are.
Still,
God, Professor
Henson
Bogus
ain't
does not have any stealth, because why would he ever need it? Oh,
6 explodes.
So
a
it's
9.
Nine.
A 9 for Professor.
so it's your
Do you have any ranks, Professor?
No,
my
that's
agility?
with the negative
Nope.
2.
That's what the
Just
negative 2
stealth.
dice roll.
so 12.
Since you don't have
Oh, I
it,
don't have anything.
it's that
17 for
minus
Grimes.
17 for Grimes. Dang.
Oh, that's right. When you don't have something.
2 6s and a 5.
It comes with the territory.
2. Mine is also 12. So,
12?
Yeah.
And what's Jefferson?
1.
So everyone is denied, besides Jefferson, who's kind of like poking his head out from behind a tree, pretty obvious.
I am, and I am like propped up with the Sharp's Buffalo
Okay.
rifle.
I'll have
takes,
I have the entangled gun ready.
takes a
too.
little bit of time, but then kind of coming down the trail, you see this big bearded man. He's got like a coonskin cap on the top. He's got a beard similar to like the guy you just murdered, the right hand man of the Spears. He's got the beard that like crawls up the cheeks of his face and is all big and bushy around here. And you see that he's holding what's clearly like a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun, and in one hand, and it's got like a pistol grip, and you see he's holding a hatchet in the other, and he's kind of like lumbering down there, and he says, and he has the gun extended out, and he says, "You drop your gun, Ranger, or I'll shoot. And tell your friend over there in the woods I sees him. And if he makes any funny moves, I'm pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I'll drop the gun. I'm not in a position to
Hey, come on out there, you. I see yous."
Come out.
Okay? And he said, "I see. Pull that gun off your hip, toss it on the ground."
Okay, pull my gun.
What you doing there, Jefferson?
This is a real character moment right here. Well, I don't think I can do that, sir. Oh, what?
"Well, now I think I'm gonna shoot your friend in the bear trap. Pull it out and drop it. Last chance. And don't call me Lawless for nothing."
Interesting
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Can I also
You will
shoot
have the drop.
I will have the drop. This
Can I
is
shoot
also
the entangled gun
What
at
the
him
hell,
to-
Jefferson?
This gun don't belong in anybody's hands.
Can I shoot the entangled gun to try and like snare him so that way?
Someone else called their shot first, so you gotta wait
Does
for
this
initiative.
does this
on the
count
list.
as what is the range of this? Medium.
It'd be medium, probably.
Okay, so
The
this
medium
is
range on the Buffalo Rifle.
yes, this is complicated because I don't technically have the strength to freehand this rifle, which means it will be at a -2, but it's a total of +7 from the drop, it being my trademark weapon and it being at medium range because I have it scoped.
So +7, -2,
Because-
+5.
Because it's a very large, heavy rifle, and I'm a very small person.
Fair enough.
So it's a total of +5
Because of the drop.
because of the drop and
Okay.
everything else. And my shooting is a 10.
There you go.
I really should get my strength up high enough to use this rifle, but
It's kind of fun that you don't have that.
no, if I'm freestanding, this thing's gonna knock me on my ass. Luckily, I'm laying in a bush somewhere. At +5, that is 12 to hit old.
Medium range is
be 6.
6. So that'll be a hit with 1 raise.
Cool.
And you'll have the +4 damage from the drop as well.
Cool, so that's +4 damage from the drop as well. Okay.
So you can roll a d6, add that to the 4,
yes.
and that'll be your flat plus to the
The
damage.
d6 is another. So it's a total +7.
On whatever you roll for the damage. And this can explode.
And then these two d10.
Oh God.
Come on.
Another 8 and 7, so that's 15
plus 8?
plus
7.
Or plus 7.
and yeah, so 22.
Toughness is 6. So that
Yeah.
is 16, which is 4 wounds. He is not someone who can try and soak them. He is not a wild card. So this man's like, I mean it! I'll shoot! They don't call me Lawless for nothing! And then you hear a BAM from behind you, and a hole rips open in the middle of his chest, and he is like off of his feet and flat on his back. And as he goes back, the shotgun discharges and shoots off some buckshot off into the woods beside him, and he is flat on his back there.
Well,
Yeah, that was easy.
Undo the sheriff from his trap.
I'm out of the trap, I think. I just...
Yeah, he's out of the trap,
Oh,
but you
yeah.
still have the injured leg.
To know, I have been doing nothing but drawing circles in the ground.
you found like the perfect hiding spot, and then just went, listen up here! They don't call me Lawless for nothing! Heart. He like just trying to draw a picture of you and the native man that was a woman.
I was trying to draw this huge plot leg.
Huge plot to
Extremely loud gunfire from very close by.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
At this point, I walk over to the body and I just light my pipe and I just start. The Professor Bogus just starts puffing on it. You're a good shot there, little lady.
It's pretty easy when they ain't moving.
So I guess we're not gonna do that.
What?
Alright.
What's the medicine skill or like
Healing,
oh,
I
healing?
think is what it's called.
Yeah. Anybody have any healing?
Did anyone take any healing?
Did anyone take any
No.
healing?
Yeah.
Hey, Smarts Man, you got any healing?
No, but I have a science. I can do experiments on you.
He can try to make new medical help for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. I guess I'll just have to roll it.
Well, it's easier. It's harder. You will have the wound penalty.
Yeah.
So like, it's easier. It's easier for somebody else to do.
You know what? Here, I'll give it a shot as the lone doctor in this group, who is not really a doctor.
Careful, it'll probably just amputate.
I'd just be the person with the highest
Professor
smarts.
Bogus invents at
Well, the highest smarts doesn't.
I know.
Doesn't really matter if you don't have the range.
So it's a -2 to the roll, right?
Yep,
Correct.
just a D4 and a D6 at -2.
Nope, 6 explodes.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
7.
With the minus
minus
2,
two.
it's 7. Okay.
Yeah.
That could have been a lot worse. You could have gotten shot.
I could have gotten shot.
You could get shot.
What the hell, Jeffers?
You could have lost a penis.
Let's just say Jeffers would still rather nobody touch his gun.
Fair enough. I mean, not fair enough.
So you
Because he's wise to what that gun does to
So
people.
you would be pretty upset if I stole it, right?
I think it probably.
Now all Professor Bogus wants to do is do experiments on the gun, and why?
You could try to steal it.
Maybe.
You couldn't even nudge me an inch one time.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
true.
you can try to steal it with your attention deficit ass. You just get distracted by some grass or something.
Yeah, I'm just some punk ass kid who called a lady ugly. I'm not much.
I know that that's like a success that you just rolled. I just am not sure if you can actually heal wounds without like medical equipment.
You you can, like, essentially, because it's essentially like you're just applying first aid. So
but I think it's like you can only have one healing check per day done on you, right?
Right.
Isn't that the...
you can only do
medicine.
one. You can only do one check within that first hour after receiving a wound.
Mhm.
After that, it's a check a week.
It's check week, and that's like your vigor checks. Right?
But that's the vigor checks.
Does the
and
healing roll give you the chance to make another vigor check? Or?
the heal you just
Healing
like
can just
the vigor rolls, like the healing check is just to do first aid and to like get rid of those wounds essentially immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's only vigor checks once a week after that.
Okay.
Because it's assuming that you're receiving regular medical attention
That you're able to make
over the course
without
of
negative. And like depending on your lifestyle, something gets negative, right? So that means that it will heal his injury because of success.
Yes.
So he's able to kind of make. You're still gonna have a hobble similar to his like headache for a week. You're probably gonna have a hobble for the next week. It's not gonna be a statistical thing, but he's gonna make kind of a bandaging and like a makeshift splint on your lower leg there. That's gonna kind of help keep everything together while it heals. So you'll have a limp, but apart from that, you'll be all good and well to continue on.
I recommend you go see an actual doctor as soon as you can.
And so I assume you guys are just gonna load Lawless up on one of your horses.
Is he
Well,
dead?
I'd kind of.
I say we cut
dead
off
as-
his head and take that with us.
He's missing a pretty good chunk of the center of his chest.
You are no doctor, but this man is dead. I'd like
take an
to head
ear.
up to the cabin because if he's got a horse or a mule or whatever or a pack animal, let's just put him on his own.
I'll cut his head
Sam
off.
can have a friend. If it's
Could also
another
do
mule,
that.
I can
That is
put more
suitable proof of
nitro.
elimination, I suppose.
I rolled
there's not
a
already
percentage
suitable proof
and the
of
spirit to see how I would feel about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna set off. I don't do this.
Okay.
I'll give a rat's ass. Any objections?
No.
Okay, I
No.
pull out my knife.
Yeah, I mean, you're the Texas.
Oh no, he's got a hatchet. This is easy.
You're the
I just kick him over on his back.
You're the Texas Ranger, so if you're
Yes,
like, well,
I
they'll
am.
accept this as proof of elimination, then I've got
Can I
I've
go
got no
up
means
to
to
the
question.
cabin and
Yeah.
steal stuff?
Sure. While he's taking this guy's hatchet and lopping his head off, you go up to the cabin. Are you just?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
going
short
and
fingers.
You're just going up and opening it.
Wait, yeah, no.
Okay.
What
So
about traps, McGee? Do you guys not?
as you pull the door open, you hear a kink as the gun trap set up on the door goes off and makes a shot at you. What? Yeah, I guess it's close range, so that will be a hit with one raise from the shotgun blast. Be an additional 2. Top of. What's your toughness?
4.
4.
Yeah.
You will take 2 wounds from the 12 damage as you pull this door open, and what you can see, there's like basically a hook underneath the door frame that someone could like kick over and the door would open past it, but it's kicked in front. So the door pulls it, and it has a little mechanism that pulls the handle of a shotgun set on a chair right in front of the door, and it just blasts
You
birdshot
should
at you.
probably spend a penny and try and sell
Probably spend a penny to try and
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a penny and
go ahead and roll vigor.
So vigor, you don't have a lot of that. So it'll be one of these and a D4. One of those. 4.
I said I was gonna.
Close.
I said I was gonna join her. I'm assuming I was just
She went
like I was
first.
just kind of standing.
7 means that you'll soak one of the wounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need
So,
to
like-
raise to soak. So you'll only take 1 wound. Go ahead and roll me a d12.
Oh, right in the dick. Here you go. 7.
7. That's the guts. Go and roll me a d6.
One of these. 5.
So this, you pull and it's just birdshot straight to your gut. It's like a bunch of little BBs are all inside of your gut there, and you got busted gut, which will mean that your strength die is reduced a die type. So you don't have to erase it, just know that whatever your strength is right now, what is it?
it's at D4.
A d4?
It can't
So
go
it's-
below
It can't go below a d4. So you got an injury that doesn't technically give you any debuff right now,
But
but
your guts are all shot
are all shot
up.
up, and you will have that injury until it gets healed.
Alright.
So you're sitting there sawing, chopping his head off with the hatchet while people are kind of like, Jesus. And then you see him you see Deep Fingers and the Professor kind of move on towards the shack, and you hear a come from the shack.
God damn it.
And you just hear the professor go, "Well, that was a surprise."
He sounds calm. It's
I'm
probably
laying on the
fine.
floor like a baby.
I'll
just
shuffle
like
my
it.
way up with my pistol drawn. What's going on?
That foolish boy.
I'd like to
Oh,
take.
stop crying, you baby. It's just a flesh wound.
I'd like to take the sawed-off shotgun that this guy had. Just probably shove it in the saddlebags.
So it's a double-barrel shotgun, sawed-off end, pistol grip. It doesn't have any shot in it at the moment. Seems that was they were both ready to shoot and were expended upon him falling over.
Oh, that's fine. I can buy a box of shotgun shells for him. Just a good thing to have around.
Careful, there's a box of shotgun shells in the cabin, but it's attached to a live hanger.
It's sitting on top of a complex Indiana Jones
Yeah.
pressure plate that's rigged to crates of
Can I look
TNT
at-
under the floorboards.
I'm just gonna.
Can I look
fall
around
away.
inside the cabin and just kind of, before I step in, just see if there's any more
Just
traps?
looking through.
Go ahead and give me a notice check. There is a window, but it's like shuttered and it's probably locked on the inside with the shutter.
Well, I'm assuming the
Anybody wanna
door's
do
still open.
I'll
It
do
is
the
still
medicine
open.
check.
You can come up and do the medicine check on old poor D. Fingers, who's writhing around on the ground, trying to get pick out some buckshot.
Six
Works.
explodes.
You guys are getting lucky on the medicine checks, at least.
So that's 8.
Which you have no ranks.
That is it.
Oh yeah, so
So minus 2, still success. Still success. So you're going to be able to heal the wound and not. He's able to help kind of pick some of the gut shot out of the.
they're like, stop
There's
your
birds
whining.
under your
I've got like a little.
What's your notice check, Professor?
That was a 9, and I do have notice. So there is
you roll
one.
whatever your notice is.
You don't see.
Yeah,
There's
no,
there's stuff
they both-
inside
Oh,
the
they both
shack,
exploded? Yes, then you re-roll both of them.
but there's no
And see which
other
one's
traps.
bigger.
It seems like his traps are not inside of his house, apart from the door to his
against the
house.
10.
Okay.
I do a notice.
I'm gonna step
In the
in
shack?
and take a look
Yeah,
around.
Okay.
And I got 15.
Professor.
There are no traps inside of the shack, apart from the one that's already gone off. Inside, there's a mostly empty box of buckshot and a mostly empty box of birdshot. But you can find, basically, between the two, you can find like 7 shotgun shells.
I think I'll just buy a box and I hit Confluence City.
If you want to like toss 2 in there, just so you have
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
And then the rest
Yeah,
of the
like I said, I was like, yeah, just snag them, take them.
There's a couple of hunting traps that seem to be broken that he was probably working on fixing to put back out there. A couple like bear traps. Apart from that, there's some hung up animals, some hide. That's about it.
Any liquor?
Yeah, there's definitely some liquor.
Professor, can
There's a
you
couple
grab me a
half-empty
bottle of liquor?
What?
The sigh first, so he definitely heard you. What?
I'm starting to wonder if maybe he ain't deaf after all.
I'll grab the bottle. I'll just like toss it to
I'm
short
gonna
fingers.
chug it.
Okay, you chug some bottom shelf whiskey,
Yeah.
but it's
And,
just fine.
I'll take one of the broken traps.
Okay, you have a broken
Just-
bear trap.
I just foolish boy.
So do you just like toss the head in a bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
I find like he's probably got like a game bag or like
Yeah, he's got-
a burlap sack.
Yeah, burlap sack somewhere you can toss it in.
Well, everyone in Confluence City's gonna know the Rangers are hardcore when one rides into town with a posse and a bloody bag.
Yeah.
Wow, I guess the Rangers ain't fucking around.
It is a corpsman, right? Not a corpseman. Corporal.
Very good. Yeah.
Coral?
Coral. He does also have a pack mule out back.
Well, it would have been great to haul the body around, but there's no need for that anymore.
Can I have the pack mule so
We'll
I
take the
can
pack
put?
mule with us. I feel bad if it's starved.
Yeah.
Can I have the pack mule so I can put more nitro and nitrate oil on it?
You could certainly get another pack mule for nitro if you'd like.
Yeah.
We really don't. We already have enough nitro.
Is there such thing as enough nitro?
Yes.
Yeah, is there such thing?
You can at least split it up between the
listen.
two, you know? Let one
Hey,
have a little bit of a break.
Then we can.
That's
can set
called
up the old-
diversifying your assets.
We can do the old load up the extra mule with some extra nitro and then send it at the bad guys. Why is that mule running towards us?
With his tail on fire.
Oh, no. No, I won't take another. I won't take the other reel. Like we could just send it to Raskatoon or something.
So you guys will kind of pack up, head back to town, I assume.
I guess we're moving on towards Confluence City. Like.
Yeah, if whichever way's faster. If it's faster to go back through Raskatoon and then.
You go back to the canyon. So it'd be like a couple hours ride to go back to Raskatoon that you'd have to redo if you want to go back to Raskatoon before going to Confluence City. If you don't have any reason to go back, you're just taking the extra mule with you.
Yeah.
And you got this guy, and you guys are on the trail and heading first towards the city of Jasper, and then on from there towards Confluence City, Colorado.
There we go.
And from there, I think that's where we'll stop this particular session. A good time in there with an outlaw dead and some money to go collect, and some new adventures to be had in the big city.
I got to use my rifle.
Yay! Very effectively, I might. So,
it would have been super effective if I hadn't walked into that bear trap. Our ambush would have gone great.
That was what set up your perfect ambush there. That was great.
I didn't even take a whoop.
Matty G, similar to that time in a recent D&D campaign where I was playing a goblin and couldn't resist messing with the magic organ, which alerted every enemy in the area to come towards us, but we just jumped them and cleared them like in one round. It looks like what we'll tell everybody is it was the plan. It was the plan all along.
All right. Well, and with that, a plan well executed. We will see y'all in the next episode of Devils of the West. Thank you for watching, everybody.